It is 4th of July week. Happy 4th of July when you see this. Hot take of the week. We have 4 Mondays until the National. Whenever Devin Booker throws out the first pitch, Tarek Skubal strikes out 13. And we have 10 Sundays until the first regular season NFL game. This is Cut the Nonsense.
I can't think anything sincere. He went headband and mustache. Looks like an absolute abomination.
It's like Ralph Macchio's been on a bender for 20 years.
Oh.
So this mustache is actually, since the facial hair started, this is from week 1 of the show. And this is the kind of length that you're getting. And I know I get compared to Benson Boone. I mean, it's not only the voice, but the mustache and the hair. But it's really getting annoying. The other thing I wanted to bring up too, obviously.
Who is this guy, by the way? Who is this pervert they're comparing you to?
He sings wonderfully, but he started on American Idol and didn't make it, but made even more money after the fact. I also wanted to bring up
American Idol.
I also wanted to bring up the fact, Mike, and as someone who has done work with his hands before, but I know a lot of people talked about the lighting here.
Sure.
Builder grade blinds. So that's what's killing me in the front, that I'm getting this light coming in. It's builder grade.
What about Danny's lighting? Have you diagnosed that yet?
I just noticed that.
Dungeon.
You just noticed you're sitting in a closet? You haven't seen this before? It's our 4th episode.
You want me to watch and listen? I'm just working.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? How do you think we got the views?
It's my lighting. Next week I will be Joe's.
You ever notice too? There's
spotlight.
more Muhammad every episode. Ali is just creeping. I don't know if Danny's lowering the picture or if he's standing taller with the poor lighting or what it is. But there's more Ali every time we do this.
See, that's the hot take we should open with.
Sure,
that's fair.
All right, where are we starting? Danny, Joe, what do you guys got going?
No, we're starting with, because I was at Chantilly this weekend, and card show on the East Coast, Chantilly, Virginia, and love the show. The trade up challenge. We've talked about this in the past, but I had a first. I had a kid who came over, did the trade up challenge, 2 cards, they're $30. We had a box of graded cards, told him pick any 2 graded cards he wanted out of the box, his choice, whatever he wants. The kid came back an hour and a half later and returned the cards and asked for his back on the trade up challenge. He said he couldn't find a good book value on the trade. I wanted to talk to you guys.
My take is always no kids in the hobby. That's my take. Don't allow them.
I think Troy said it best last week. There needs to be a headstone that says the death of the trade up challenge. Troy said it best. That was a great take last week.
His dad was standing right there, and he should be embarrassed. And you know who you are, sir. I know you know who you are.
I don't think he's watching, but okay. I like the enthusiasm. By the way, Kyle, who's sitting in a car, just did a thing on the trade up challenge. I spent all night watching this kid's clips.
Dude, I will tell you right now with Kyle, algorithms, they really work. This guy, I just noticed, was coming up on my algorithm, doing some great parodies of other influencers out there. He is with Cosmic Cards Doctor. Just kidding. It's CosmicCardsMD. Go ahead and bring Kyle in.
How's it going?
I mean, look at it. Kyle, let me ask you a question. Do you do anything in real, like, is your real job anything that actually includes you wearing high vis, or is this just part of the thing? I'd like to think this has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Well, that's a great question, Mike.
Thank you.
I'm an inspector, so I kind of stand around and watch other guys work all day. It doesn't necessarily require a vest, but I wear one.
I like to make that presence known. I like that. What kind of car are you rocking here? That AC is humming, and a sunroof I couldn't help but
This is a 2017 Honda Civic.
Wow!
I just upgraded from my 2005 Civic, so life is going good.
I mean, apparently. Any tips to Joe on how to grow real facial hair? Anything you could shed light on there for the pervert on the right side of your screen?
I've heard of maybe some not PG things. I don't know if that's necessarily a take I want to take. It's all genetic.
It starts with puberty, right? Puberty's a big thing, and hopefully I eventually hit that.
Maybe not being Shane Gillis's cousin. I don't know.
There we go. There we go.
It's fair.
Kyle, so what got you started in cards? And then I want to eventually talk
I
about...
like Kyle, by the way. Let me interrupt you
are.
real quick. I told Joe there's like 50% chance I'm going to hate this kid because he's going to come on and be real serious and just a stiff. I like Kyle. In my head, Kyle is a banker, has nothing to do with inspecting. He's just like, nope, I'm getting in some random dude Civic and I'm wearing that high-vis vest. Kyle, that's all I have to say. I'm going to leave your screen now. Oh,
I appreciate it.
That is you. What a weird take. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I just want to ask Kyle, like, what got him into collecting? Because he's got some great takes on it. And then, again, I just love the parody he does of the influencers. And I even brought up, I mean, I've had interaction with some of these guys. And you know how they say don't meet your heroes? And I know they're not my heroes, but you're pretty spot on to when I've met some of these guys. I was like, hey, dude, I really liked your content. You do? That was my response. So I appreciate everything you do, Kyle. But back to what got you interested in the hobby. Have you been a lifelonger?
Relatively so. I'd say I was more on the Pokemon side when I first started. I would say around the Diamond and Pearl 2007 era is when I kind of started opening Pokemon and sports. I started off with, let's say, I want to say 2007 Topps football. So that's kind of my earliest memory. The Tony Romo Pro Bowl Hawaii card, because I'm a Cowboys fan, unfortunately. And then from there, I kind of been ripping packs my entire life. And then right around 2017 is when I really got back into it. Kind of this year is when my one friend who I used to do a bunch of pack openings with in 2017 reintroduced me to the hobby and took me to a show back in April, I want to say. It was in Greencastle, PA. And then we went to Chantilly, which I think was around that same time. And then from there, I just started making content. So,
hey, what led to the content? I am curious about that. Like, when did that come to you?
I've always, because I was born 2000, so I've always watched YouTube and wanted to be a content creator. But I just never had the sack, as Mike would say. So I kind of just stopped caring.
Good word. Yep.
Yeah. So I kind of just stopped caring what everyone in high school or who I went to high school with thought of me. So I just decided to put it out there. I always knew I was semi-funny, but this is kind of my recent upbringing has kind of validated that.
Have you met any of these guys yet? By the way, the impersonations.
Nope. Oh,
nope. Some of them are pretty spot on, dude. I
will say I am in a King of Cards video, just walking by.
Wow.
I appreciate
Kyle,
it.
Who was the first person that you imitated?
I think it was King of Cards, and I don't have a hat on me to do it. So,
Danny, and if you haven't seen this, or Mike, what I love that Kyle does too. And I got to be gentle, right, to the aging adult community. But I love when you open Pokemon packs with older people and when they're just wrecking the packs to get them open. And then just the pronunciations, because the subtleness of when someone pronounces one of the characters wrong and you're like, oh, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that gets me every time. And that was one of the first videos that popped up on my algorithm. I was like, dude, this is hilarious. And I love every second of it, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. There's the first one was my grandpa, and then the second one was one of my tenants that's in my building. So
if you could get two aging adults to compare like opening packs, do like a pack war with it, and then having to speak back and forth, like whose character has more power. Dude, I mean, it's fantastic. And again, I saw the Instagram. It looks like you're growing. You have over 1,000 followers. So if you could keep adding to that, I think the content's only going to get better. And we're a starting show too, but we're growing off of Mike's back here and Danny's great knowledge. Like I said, sent you in the Instagram thing. I was like, you don't know Danny Black? You don't know Mike Gio? Like, come on, like two heavyweights.
Well, I know one thing about Mike. Kevin Durant is spineless.
Spot on. It's also a true take, by the way. Oh, this is the video. I thought that was Kevin Durant for a second. So that's your grandfather?
Yeah.
I am glad to hear that. I saw that and I was like, this kid just like, it's one thing to prank old people. It's another thing to like walk in their house and sit on their sofa. So I'm glad this is family at least.
Now, is he in on the joke to begin with?
He is a personality of his own, so he kind of knows, but I told him it's an interview, and he kind of just went along with it.
Tell you another thing he knows is how to grow a mustache. It's
Oh,
got
yeah.
three
It is
caterpillars
genetic. That's
on
very-
that lip.
Very burly mustache.
Kyle, you come from a hairy
70s.
family. Yeah.
Cosmic Cards Doctor. Just kidding. MD from Maryland, right?
Twice with that joke, huh?
I
Yes,
know.
sir.
Come on, dude. I didn't hear the laughs the first time, so I ignored you then.
I don't know if the second's any, but that's all right. Okay, we're learning.
Wait,
Take it
Kyle,
out.
Hey, I want Kyle back sometime. Just don't even tell us he's coming, Joe. Kyle just jumps in full character. That's it.
Can you?
Hey,
You got to
so
prep your guests here, man. You threw this kid in the fire with nothing. What are you doing, Joe?
We got to hear one voice.
that's what I want to say. Danny, is there an influencer that you would love to hear Kyle do? I mean, he pretty much covers all of the main people out there.
Kyle, who's your favorite?
Yeah, who's the favorite to impersonate? There's some cringy people in this hobby.
Yeah, I would say the God, I can't remember his name. The guy with the head. Oh, Santiago.
Oh,
He's
that's
a
Joe's
good
boy.
one.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
liked that one.
I'm trying to remember his voice. It's kind of nasally. It's like this. Like, I mean, I can maybe do 5 on the card. Something like that.
But he had the purse onto the video too.
That was the best. I mean, just the
Yeah.
little touches. I mean, I even love when you hit us with Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Geoff.
Yeah, Gio. I got you. Hello, sports card investors.
He's got the hand up too. Yeah. Kyle, we're gonna get this thing back on the rails at some point. But if you would come back next time, I would love that. Just come back, Joe. Don't even tell us. He just comes back in full. We don't even have to have his video on the screen. Just have him talking off to the side. We'll have to figure out what the hell he's doing.
Well, we'll definitely have you back and hear more of the voices.
All right, I appreciate it. Just let me know. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Kyle.
No,
Thanks,
thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. Joe, good call. Funny guy.
Decent. Like, it breaks it up a little bit. I mean, the amount of content, I know we had talked about it, like what type of content do you watch in the hobby? And literally this guy just popped up on my stream, and I sent Mike a couple of messages. He's like, dude, he's actually pretty funny.
He's good.
But I mean, working in the industry, doing a show like this, you kind of need to keep yourself educated and kind of need to look at a bunch of different content. And so, I mean, I'm pretty much open to seeing stuff about cards in the hobby, but then also seeing the funny side of it. I mean, it's not hurting anyone, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, at least it's entertaining, something different.
Well,
I agree.
how much new content do you guys take in on people that you are not familiar with? Joe, I'm shocked that you find this many people.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, so I do the content for our shop. So I'm constantly getting stuff, and you know how our phones are always listening to us anyway. So if I bring up anyone, that seems to be the next reel that comes up on my phone. So, or a card that we're referencing. But dude, I'm always looking at new content. I'm looking for people within the industry. I like when the gotcha videos that you see a lot from Whatnot. Those are kind of fun. So it's kind of constant. It's daily.
All right. I want to clear up, going back to the last episode, there was already a reference today to Booker, Devin Booker. Clearly, we got to just sort this out between the two of you. Tatum, Booker, Joe, you had a response?
Yeah, well, first of all, like I'd said in the beginning, anytime Devin Booker seems to throw out a first pitch at Tiger Stadium, Scooble strikes out 13 on national TV. He also gave a pair of Book One shoes to Scooble that were changed into cleats. And as someone who's tried on both shoes, it's not even close. The Book Ones are way more comfortable than the Jordan Tatums. So take that, Mike, and rewind it back.
I mean, I'm happy for you. I don't know. You're a homer. That's the end of the argument. You're an absolute homer. And that's fine.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with it. Even with one Achilles, I think Tatum is probably as good as Booker. He has as much playoff experience. I mean, that's fine.
Dude, as you're wearing the Red Sox stuff, Mr.
But I hate
Boston,
Tatum. I'm not a homer. My love of the Celtics died when Bird retired. 33 is not walking through that door. So
But you honestly think that Tatum is a better player than Booker? 100%.
I don't think it's that close either. Yeah,
I
he's a
got-
better. Here's the thing: he's a better rebounder. He's a better passer. He has multiple all-team NBA defenses. He's clearly clutch. He's won a championship. I think if you want to make the argument, Booker's a better pure scorer. Maybe I could give you that nod. What he doesn't know anything else better, and even if he does, if you want to give him the nod, he is a better scorer. It is not like by and large better. Tatum is head and shoulders a better defender. Tatum is head and shoulders a better rebounder. Their passing ability is close. Tatum gets the edge. Maybe Booker's slightly better as a scorer.
I'm going to pick a winner here. Tatum is so much better. It's not
and I hate
close.
Tatum. He's a whiner.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. But I don't think it's that close.
I would want to look also. I would think that Booker's actually played more games. Like, even though I know he's been in the league longer, but I think he's had less impacted by injuries. So, I mean, are you looking for someone who's a little bit more brings stability to your lineup? Or?
Well, Tatum's never missed a game until he got hurt. Stability to the lineup, too. The lineup doesn't count when you're not making the playoffs.
You know what? Terry Brown, can you fact check that he hasn't missed a game, please? Terry, please, can you fact check Mike?
Mike's. Oh, you know, I'm glad you
Terry
said
Brown
that. No, I gotta do it because that basement dweller every single show. 10, 12 years ago, when I finally got back into cards, me and my buddy were like, hey, let's start buying cards again. I forget the exact conversation. Terry, that wasn't a quote, so take it easy. We're like, hey, we're going to buy cards. This dude had the most incredible vintage collection posted on Craigslist back in the day. And I want to say it was like 2012. I told my wife, I was like, hey, we've been looking for a side hustle. We're going to do it. So I went to this guy's house, unbelievable house in Columbia, Tennessee. The high school baseball stadium was right across from him. It was named after the guy. Old money, had one of the most insane collections I've ever seen in my life. I spent $4,800 in vintage. Nothing but, because when I came back, that was it. We're just buying vintage, nothing but the greats. I bought this whole huge vintage collection. The only thing it was not, there were 2 boxes of 1993 SP, the Jeter foil boxes, which were $300 at the time, and I was terrified. Now they're probably $2,000, I don't know. And there were 2 1989 boxes with the Griffey stuff. Buy this whole big thing, and at the end he's like, oh, by the way, and he had multiple real mantles, graded the 52, everything. He's like, by the way, I got this stack of like reprints along the way, counterfeit cards. They were, somebody just made them. They had the same watermark. He's like, but they're actually great for set filling. So if you're going to start getting into selling vintage, a ton of these guys do sets. He's like, I'll just throw them in. They're only worth a couple bucks a piece, but guys like them as like little placeholders in their binders. It's great. So I started setting up doing shows that year. That's when I got back and like, let me start slowly setting up. Almost exclusively vintage. And I did. I was selling those mantles for 10, 20 bucks a piece. I mean, they would fly because guys like, I'm never buying the 52, but I have the whole rest of the binder full. I just need a card to hold it. Great. I then started selling them on eBay because I was like, I don't, you put right in the title, hey, these are fake, these are reprint cards, whatever. I sold probably 50 of them. And then at one point, someone apparently recorded like, hey, this is a counterfeit card, which it was, by the way. There was no surprise there. And then I was like, I don't know what that means. I've sold a ton, all good feedback, whatever. My eBay account was suspended for like 2 years selling because of that. So maybe even longer. It might have been like 5 years selling. So, but the fact that Terry knows that pervert has the deep cuts. I never talk about that story because it's just funny. It's like, it's not anything I've ever really, we've talked about it on the pod, but I do. I like that comes up every single time on the show. You got to get new material. Get your own apartment. Basements, trust me, I understand with the heat wave, the basements stay a little bit cooler. I understand that. And, hawking Wi-Fi off the McDonald's right next to you, also, great way to save a few bucks. But TB, what you're going to want to do is take a step out. Get that apartment, probably a little HUD housing maybe. I don't know what you want to do. Whatever works for you, a lot of viable options. And I'm excited for you to take this next step in your life. But yes, 13 plus years ago, I was selling reprint Mickey Mantles on eBay. Is that good, Terry? Are we good? Is Terry here? Is he the next guest?
Go ahead and bring in Terry. Go ahead and bring him in.
Every show. I like it, though. I mean, good for him. What kind of a weirdo stays with you for 13 years after that kind of a story? Good for him.
I just want to
Terry,
know...
you can come on anytime, by the way. That is a true thing. Anytime you want to come on, Terry. I'm sure Terry has a nice single-family house and is a great person. He might be in a basement, but I don't think so. I'm just being a little bit fun. So take it easy, TB. Anytime you want to come on, you're welcome on the show.
The other TB12.
Yeah.
The original.
So did Terry think that a $10 mantle was real?
No, no one did. I think he was just. And by the way, I actually now, like, I see. Okay, I could see why it could be damaged because now people will pass those off as real. I get it. 13 years ago in the hobby, it was just different. Like, you knew what you were buying. Again, it was like, hey, here's a $10 card, $15 Mickey Mantle. And if it's advertised as a fake, I don't have any issue. However, it's a trademark infringement. It's counterfeit. Sure. No problem.
And speaking of great value too, and I know you guys, back to me being a homer, went to a Phoenix Mercury game yesterday. They have vending options that are $2. So you can get a popcorn.
Food?
Yeah, a popcorn,
Really?
a hot dog, and a soda for $2. Now everything is cashless there, so you better have Apple Pay or a card.
Oh,
So
Papa Gio would be out.
yeah, it's insane. But tough day for Phoenix sports. Our Diamondbacks got swept by the Marlins yesterday, but then we lost to the Vegas Aces. But it was a great environment, great game, great vending. Again, a $2 hot dog, decent popcorn, and a $2. It was probably like at least 13 ounces, maybe 14 Diet Coke, $2 at a sporting
That's
event.
not bad. That's not
You
bad.
can't beat that.
It's pretty
But
good.
I will tell you. So there was 13,500 people at the game. The Mercury, they're 12
That place
and
looked pretty
4,
busy.
12 and 5. Yeah, super busy. But as I think we had some season ticket holders sitting in front of us, and I don't know if they were prepared for the energy of like newer WNBA fans that understand basketball and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we brought them all. So another great homer thing, Maricopa County Library. If you do the reading program for the summer, each person that participates, even up to adults, 4 free Mercury tickets.
Oh,
And you could pick any game.
Free. Yep. Perfect.
And we sat 18 rows from the court. It was
good.
awesome. It was awesome. It was a great experience. But like the fans who've been there a long time, I think as the excitement of the WNBA continues to grow, there was a gentleman who had like one of the original 1997 like shirts on, and he just literally sat with his fingers in his ears. My kids were screaming. Another gal turned around and said, "You guys really brought the energy today." Like it was wild. It was wild. You don't see it every time, but I think as older fans start moving out and the younger fans are excited and moving in, it was nice to be ushered in. My son did catch a T-shirt from the T-shirt cannon. Big day, huge day. Did get some side eye from some season ticket holders because he kind of went up for it, stabbed it out, kind of did the
Nice.
Odell Beckham. But it was nice. I mean, again, just to see the growth of sports, even with what's going on in the world and the economy and being able to do that kind of stuff, it was kind of fun just overall to be out there and to see everyone out there doing it and the team's doing well.
Mike, do you care about the W in the offseason, or are you NBA free agency, NFL offseason, MLB? What are you following now?
No, I'm a loser sports fan. Yeah, I've said this many times. I have no passion anymore. I follow the news, but that's it. I'm not super into any of the teams. Brady left, I was done. KG and Pierce had their last hurrah with the Celtics. That was it. I follow the Celtics a little bit. But yeah, I live vicariously through the Cards. So now my offseason consists of me being a nerd trying to buy Larry Bird cards and Tom Brady cards because I can't see him play anymore. So that has literally become my collecting in sports existence. Every time, that's what it's a Brady reference. It's like, why do we keep seeing this goat on the screen? It's the Brady. Well, for me, it's the Bird reference, but Brady too. Okay.
It's the Muhammad Ali reference.
Did we just lost Joe, huh? Joe was just pixelated and just all worked up about the WNBA.
No, I'm here. I'm rocking. Rookie Royalty made some headlines this week with Panini's offering a box of cards that has either a Caitlin Clark or an Angel Reese auto, and then a Kaboom or a Downtown, and they're doing it Dutch auction style, starting at $30,000. Your take, dude.
So quick thing. Has this happened yet or no?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is the Kaboom or Downtown also one of those two people? Is it only Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in this product? That's what I've yet to find. Because the way it's worded was weird.
Yeah, I didn't see any details on the Kaboom or the Downtown. Just the auto is either Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark, which the comps on those cards are crazy different. So if you got a Caitlin or an Angel Reese,
did you see the cards that they're talking about, by the way? So I thought this was a brand new SKU where they're putting out like a royalty brand. It's not. It's like NT Flawless, maybe Immaculate. I don't know, but it's established. So you can pull a Caitlin Clark Flawless RPA. Here's my question. So are they not going to have just a regular run of Flawless? Are they not going to release just a regular run of NT?
Well, this is the guarantee of auto.
I understand that, but I'm saying like down the road, normally you're releasing all this product with Caitlin Clark. You release Prism, all this other stuff. Are you not just going to release a WNBA National Treasures product down the road? Are you not going to release a WNBA Flawless down the road?
This could be like a the white box type auto on there. It might be stamped like rookie royalty on the back or something. It might not be the true.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way I could think. I mean, you would,
or they don't do it. They've never released the other ones, right?
I mean, if you have players this caliber, as far as Caitlin is when it comes to the actual hobby and what she sells for, I don't know how you couldn't put out Flawless or NT. I just feel like you would have to do that to capitalize on it. I mean, we just got our pre-order the shop for Donruss WNBA for 24-25, and I mean, historically Donruss does have downtowns in it. I mean, I'm hoping that rookie royalty isn't the only way to get a downtown.
I mean, yes and no. So here's my problem. First of all, 30,000 is an egregious price no matter what. Second of all, I've not seen a print run of the cases yet either. How many of these cases are they actually putting out? Because if you're going to just put out thousands, then we're just talking about Mercury 2.0. Mercury was the top product with Wemby. Every case gets an autograph and a patch auto of Wemby, and we're going to have 1 million of these things out. And so now we're going to do the same thing with WNBA. And so let's play both roads. You're not going to release National Treasures or Flawless. So these are the only ones. It just seems like a huge swing and a miss. Why are you not releasing those products if Danny, you got to say something. I can't keep looking at that face, the inquisitive face of Danny Ali there.
What is the licensing issue with WNBA compared to the NBA?
So that's the thing. I've not heard of any. I don't think there's any deal in place. Because originally I was like, oh, they're going to dump it all at once because they're not going to have time to do these. I've not heard or seen anything, and we would have seen it, that the Fanatics and Tops are taking that.
Because WNBA is owned by NBA.
WNBA is
or the players' licenses might be.
Yeah, I wonder with the PA. Yeah, I wonder with the PA and all that. But again, so my problem is this. First of all, 30,000 is stupid. No one's. I mean, and the floor price is 3,000, by the way. So I look forward to the people who buy at 29 grand, and the guy next to you buys at 3,200. That's a dumb thing to do. Second of all, why wouldn't you just release the full print run of these products? Unless there's a licensing deal we've not been told about, okay, I guess. But if you're then going to release a product like that, like you're going to have a standalone WNBA Flawless, well, what am I supposed to do with this thing that I just paid 30 grand for? Like even so, is it like a first off the line type thing? Or like Joe said, there's a separate stamp? But even then, this just seems stupid to me. Who is clamoring to spend that kind of money? And I don't know. Panini just always seems out of touch, but I'm always critical of them. So
we got a comment. Would breakers buy this product?
No. What am I going to do with this? There's two. Sure. Like your huge backyard could probably sell 50 cases of this. Again, what price are you buying it at though? And right. I have a real issue with, hey, the I don't know it's a Dutch auction, right? Because originally, you remember when Josh Luber, who I know not everybody's cup of tea, but when Josh Luber went to Topps, his big thing was the reverse Dutch auction. So if we have 100 cases, we start selling them, the price lowers. But whatever the lowest price is, everybody pays that price. That is still the most phenomenal way to auction off any of these cases. Because what happens to the guy that spends 20 grand because they get FOMO? They're terrified they're not going to get it, so they go and spend 20, and they sit there and watch the price drop down to 4,000. Like, I don't get it. So back to the breakers thing, maybe, but again, you have 2 cards. How do you break this? I think the only way to rip these would be to just personal box them, and who's paying that kind of money? It seems wild to me. I know Caitlin's market's unbelievable, but this seems like a dumb idea.
Joe, let me ask you, as a fan of the WNBA, do you think throwback cards can be done with value?
No.
I mean, does Taurasi carry enough weight?
No, even with all the accolades, no. I mean, it's just a different time. I mean, it's, it's more visible now than ever before, which drives a lot of like the Caitlin Clark hype, and even the other rookies too. I mean, Paige Beckers right now she's on track to kind of beat some of Caitlin Clark's records. And people they have more access to being able to watch these players, and it starts at the collegiate level too. So being able to see them and their household names for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and remember, in women's basketball too, I don't know for sure, so please fact check me in the comments, but where you only have to be in 1 year in men's basketball and go, I don't know if it's more of like you really need those extra years in college for the WNBA to make an impact in the professional league, but really they become household names because they're there for 3 and 4 years, and then you can watch them develop and then become superstars. I mean, the next one coming up is Juju Watkins, right? And she's recovering from the knee issue, but as a sophomore, she was a huge name in women's college basketball and looking to take over eventually at the next level. So I don't know that you can go back and do, older players. I mean, Cheryl Swoops, she's actually the logo woman of the WNBA. So I don't think you could do it. They tried to with the autos in Prism, and they don't sell. They don't hold the value of the new players.
Are people Bowman U prospecting on Juju and everybody heavily?
Absolutely. I think that was one of the smarter things that Topps did with Bowman U is when they did cross over the men's and women's basketball, because they didn't fill it with a ton of fluff. They did grab like the big name players and put them in the product. So again, these are the players that are being marketed in college. They're the players that the money is behind. I'm not going to be surprised if you don't see a crossover for the gal who is the pitcher at Texas Tech, who 1 year, $1 million NIL deal. And she ended up pitching what's like 60 or 70 innings in a row in the Women's College Softball World Series. So, but she was the first $1 million NIL player, and then she re-upped there for another $1 million a year. She started at Stanford and came over, and that's a huge thing. I mean, like you guys talked about last week with Greenie and the guys and what they do. I mean, these collectives have so much money together, and it's a marketing machine behind these players. And it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. The more that they're visible to us, the more that we fall in love with their story, and we want their products, and we want the stuff that we can see them in. So cards is just, the next step. And again, with the Bowman U stuff, I mean, I think they've done a really good job. And once you've seen Bowman U kind of grow too, right, Mike? I mean, it when it came out collegiate, they had to airbrush the uniforms, but now if you're a big college sports fan, you can see the USC, the Ohio State stuff, and people want that. They really do.
Boston College.
Yeah, Philip Nurkic.
Well, sure. Does it matter? I mean, do people care on the uniforms? Because Joe, I know you wanted to talk about Bowman first, but the same thing, here. Do people want the rookie card of the Bowman first in the uniform of where their player is currently, whether it's college to pro or pro team to another pro team? Do people care about being on the current team?
So I think a true rainbow, you're going to have an opportunity for like a true rainbow collector of Cooper Flag, because you'll have his McDonald's All-American as a Topps card. You'll have his Bowman as a Topps card, and you're going to have his rookie basketball, depending on if Panini decides to just turn the printers on full blast this summer and put some stuff out there. But come October, this is going to be the first player in a long time that you're going to see his high school to professional all under one umbrella. And I think that's going to be huge for the hobby.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say, I just recently got into Breaking Anything College. Dude, I think people are more ravenous about, like, I'll justify buying Griffey Flawless stuff with no logo, and I don't care. Like, as long as it looks good. The college freaks out there are like, no, it has to say Duke on it. Like, I think it's a smaller fan base, but it is a much more, like, loyal, diehard, they want what they want type fan base, which I think is great.
Well, even the comments in our show, if you look, we've had a couple of people back-to-back weeks talk about, well, if it's not an SEC, like, listen, I'm a Big Ten guy. I get SEC and I get the environment 100%. Volunteers, Neyland Stadium, I get it 100%. You're right. Those experiences are insane from 6 a.m. until 2 a.m. the next day. And you can't take anything away from that. And I think you do see the people that are diehard college, they're only buying college. Like, they could care less on Sunday waking up to see the NFL or waking up to see an NBA. Like, they're diehard college player, like diehard college fans. And a lot of that stems from growing up in the region and then going to school there. So if you have something now, you know what? I went to Duke. Cooper Flagg went to Duke. We're basically brothers.
Sure, nailed it.
I can't stand Duke. There's my hot take. I hate Duke.
But Danny, to your point, I did write this note down because I did want to ask Mike about this too, about when you have a first Bowman come out, and this is like the biggest card of this prospect, right? And then all of a sudden they get traded. And now they're in a huge deal, super like Devers, right? So the Giants trade all these prospects over, or like the Dodgers do every year. They have a great farm system. They trade these prospects over. That prospect in maybe 1 to 2 years eventually gets called up. You know, their prospect card is as a Giant, but now they're a Red Sox. Does that kill that person's value?
So no, I mean, like Ohtani's a good example of that. His first stuff is all Bowman with the Angels, Bowman first. It's different though, right? Like, so Ohtani actually played and had a great career with the Angels, won multiple MVPs, then gets traded. But actually a good example, Pete Crow Armstrong, he was drafted by the Mets. His first stuff is all with the Mets and never played a professional game with the Mets. Well, professional, like actual MLB. I don't know if he played, I'm sure he played minor league stuff over there. But if you look at his first Bowman pricing, it's through the roof. So I don't think it has that big of an effect. And that's a guy who, again, never played for the Mets at any high level. And that's the only first he's got. So, I mean, we just saw that happen this year, too, with the Red Sox and with the Cubs. Cam Smith gets traded right after the draft. I don't know if Cam Smith ever played a minor league game for the Cubs. And then Braden Montgomery was the big pick for the Red Sox, got traded to the White Sox. Never played a minor league game either. But if they go on to be great, like, I think those are still the cards. It's interesting, though. If you can go back, hey, like, total hypothetical, what would Pete Crow, that same card, be if he was in a Cubs uniform, not a Mets uniform? Would it increase it at all? I don't know. I mean, I know when you're good, your stuff sells, and it doesn't matter the uniform or anything else. The weird caveat, I think, comes where there's like the gap years. So like Soto comes up with the Nationals. Did they win a chip? Did he win a championship with the Nationals? Am I making that up?
With Strasburg and Harper, I thought.
No, Harper left.
No, Harper was gone. Philly by then. I think Washington won a championship.
They won one, yeah.
Okay, so even if not, but so Soto, that's a team that drafts him. That's his first stuff. Everything's there. Plays great. Well, then he goes to the Padres and the Yankees, and now he's over with the Mets. Like, you can tell the difference in his Yankees and Padres uniform autograph stuff because it's not first, it's not rookie, and it's not like his destination. If he goes on to play 12 years with the Mets, becomes an all-time great Mets player, great. People will accept that down the road. I think where you get trouble is where they have like those. So, like, who wants a Soto autograph with the Yankees? But that's where there's issues.
For Bowman first, and I'm a big Bowman first guy, I have no problem if they get traded. If you look at the Soto trades, all the guys that went to San Diego to Washington and vice versa, I would take those guys on any Bowman first.
Yeah, C.J. Abrams, big name in that trade, right?
James Wood.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, geez, they got
James Wood, right? Rookie this year in the Topps product. But I think I just heard the other day that he's not eligible for Rookie of the Year because of the amount of time he played last season.
Oh, really? True. You know what's crazy about him, too? Dude, you know what's wild about him? I thought we had gotten away from where you play, like your market affecting your value. Like with that pervert Wander. He played in Tampa, but when he was killing it, lighting it up, didn't matter that he was in Tampa. Zion playing for the Pelicans, but it didn't matter. He was so good. Ja Morant, even when he had a crazy hobby moment. It is funny, though. People are like, because you got Wood and Cruz for Washington, it's almost like guys are like, it's Washington. We just don't care. And again, that's a team that's won a championship in the last few years.
I'm going to speak up because I'm 30 minutes from DC. Nobody's from DC. They have no ingrained fan base.
Okay, so maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, there's just no hometown. I think the reason Orlando has always struggled to get a baseball team because it was so transient for so long that I think where it's different. If Soto would have stayed in New York with the Mets, I actually think there would have been more value if he had come up with the Mets because you would have had the New York market. I think the Washington market actually hurts him.
I mean, a little, yeah, maybe, but again, his stuff sells through the roof. That's what's weird, though. Soto, though, transcended. But like, look at the year James Wood is. Didn't he have like 25 home runs?
Yeah,
or 23, whatever. He's having a great year. And it's funny, player. Even as a breaker, it's like you price the Nationals high because it's Wood and Cruz, and it's like they sit. I also think the perception is Washington stinks. Like it's always a cheap team in breaks, and then when you see them in a PYT be $295, it's like, wait a minute, what? So yeah, it is weird to me, but maybe that's a good answer. I had not thought of that, Danny. I didn't know there weren't many like homegrown you know.
Yeah,
I mean, we see that out here definitely with Ketel Marte. Like his first Bowman is Mariners, but out in Phoenix, like it's such a transient market. Like it's crazy. Everyone's from everywhere else, but Ketel Marte is one of the best players in baseball. But none of his card values would tell you that. Like it's crazy.
That's the guy who got somebody yelled about his mother.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about this for a second?
Please.
Do you know what was said? Does anybody actually know what
Yeah.
they said? I haven't followed it much. What did they? Can you repeat it, or is it terrible?
Can you hint at it?
What was said was, "I called your mom last night."
Ooh. His mother's passed away, by the way.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
So this is the only thing I knew. She died 8 years ago, 2017.
Correct.
I'm not minimizing this, but you're an athlete making millions of dollars. A guy yells, "I called your mother last night," and you. Does this not seem like? And now he's banned from every stadium. Here's another thing. I'm not saying this is like the greatest guy in the world. If he showed up at Theo or one of Joe's 97 kids' school and was yelling stuff, sure. Like break his legs, throw him in prison. You're at a sporting event. Like, is this where we are? Where we're now banning? Like, I called your mom. I mean, newsflash, she didn't answer the phone. Like, I don't know if anybody's addressed that. She did not take the call. Like, I could guarantee. I know it's like an insensitive, terrible thing to say, but I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I play pickup ball twice a week. We talk trash pretty, like, we're pretty, like, ridiculous. Like, this is a thing?
You know what's funny is my mom this week, actually, I was talking to her on the phone. She was like, "Hey, Joe, do you ever, like, what if they make references to your size, like, does that hurt your feelings or anything like that?" And I was like, "No, it doesn't, because, Mom, I've been this size my whole life." Like there's very rarely that I hear a new comment about my size or something I've never heard before, and I know that it's in jest and just joking. Now, I do get Benson Boone.
Yep.
I do
I was
get
going to be
that.
Kettle Marte on there for
Benson Boone's the new Mr. Bean. We're done with Benson.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
don't know if this was an anniversary of anything for Ketel's family or how it was said, because dude, he went into
broke down
full-on
on the
tears.
field, right?
For sure.
Again, I'm not minimizing. I get it. I just was like, is this not a bit of an overreaction by like?
It had to be more. It had to be, "I called your mother," and
it might have. That's just what came out. I mean, the skipper Torey Labello, there's a TikTok video of him turning into the stands, and he went hard at that person, like pretty crazy. So
like the same thing just happened in Boston. Like you see the guy who yelled at Duran about like killing yourself. Well, Duran just came out publicly that he had like struggles. That's a little different. Something that just happened. Okay, but I was just like, I don't know.
2022.
Dude. Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. It just seemed like and I'm not saying it's like the nicest thing to say. I mean, I get it. Like, but I did think that was a little bit wild. Like it just seemed like a little bit overboard. But I don't know.
But a typical White Sox fan too, right? I mean,
they're miserable.
Yeah, you can no longer say typical White Sox fan
because they don't have any, or what?
No, because they got the Pope.
Oh, great! You get that pervert, and you got a bunch of miserable.
No, he was a Cubs fan. He was wasn't he at the Cubs World Series?
The Pope was the White Sox. This was
fantastic.
He wore a White Sox hat the other day.
Oh, what a treat for the White Sox.
We're 10 times in the hobby here through the Pope, guys.
There we go.
I have a lot of see. This is where you have to be. This is where the filter kicks on for me. A lot of jokes.
All right, I'm gonna steer this back onto the rails here. AI was brought up. Joe has concerns about AI. We deal with publishing on collectibles on SI and stay far away, but I know people use it. Is AI ruining content in the hobby? Is it ruining all of our worlds, or do we not care?
I don't even know where it affects anything I do. There's AI content?
There's a lot of content you see as AI.
I live under a rock. I come out to make like inappropriate jokes about Ketel Marte's mom, and I go right back to the rock.
I was trying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worried in Hollywood that it's going to affect making movies in the future. So, I mean, you can do it on a small scale for sure. Like I've seen reels that look like you see someone on a cruise ship and a giant wave comes and washes everyone away, like big, like crazy stuff, but it's starting to get more and more real. And so I don't know, getting back to where you were referencing some of the Mickey Mantle cards, like, I mean, is AI going to be able to refine things to where you can see like, oh, this guy pulled XYZ out of a pack? Like, not that AI. We weren't talking about
I thought
practice.
we're going back to Benson Boone for a minute. I was actually relieved to see Alan. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
But
Alan.
it's crazy. I mean, AI, it will have an effect.
What's your concern, Joe? What's your concern?
Just taking the reality out of things 100%. Like, I mean, the raw truth and reality of what we get to see every day. That's kind of what is really cool, to seeing the reactions of the kids. Like, I get to see that at the shop when someone opens a pack, and I really get to see like that true excitement, or I get excited for somebody. It could be manufactured now. You can drop different people in the background to make your shop look bigger and badder. Like, I don't know if that could hurt us down the line. I think it really can. I mean, you're going to take the genuineness out of what we do every day.
I wonder where it comes in with grading. That's really the only application of the hobby. I'm like, I do wonder, because on paper, if you're telling me something could grade something more consistently and without any sort of bias, or hey, this guy had a bad day, or this guy just is prone to miss certain things that another grader wouldn't. If you can take the there's a word for that I'm dancing on. I can't say. I don't know why. I can't think. But if you can take the inconsistencies out of it, on paper, that makes all the sense in the world. But it hasn't taken off. Like, PSA doesn't use AI grading. They are by far the biggest sports card grader. SGC does not. They are by far the number 2. So I don't know. Like, I understand practically why it should be that way. But I also know with grading, we just want resale value in a brand we know. And those two things are undefeated. Like brand recognition and resale value.
And no grading company, I'm sorry, Joe, but no grading company that's gone heavy AI has made it.
No, not at all.
Tag was one of the only ones that really did that. But you don't think that we're far away from those beautiful PSA scans now having like an AI like layover scan, like to kind of look? I mean,
sure, I guess maybe. Yep. I think at some point it's coming, but I don't think it takes effect until PSA. Quite frankly, I don't think any of this matters until PSA does it. That's really where I'm at with the grading world. Until they
is it a bigger deal in marketplace listings?
How? Yeah, what's the
application? Are you altering the look of your card just slightly? Not enough to get a return, but just a hair. Playing with the color, playing with,
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
And listen, at the end of the day, when we talk about PSA, 100%, their bottom line is to make money, right? At the end of the day, they really do control the value of these cards. When we're apples to apples, right? Someone's looking at it. You have 2 cards that I know we want to believe it. If they look exactly the same, that they're going to get the same grade. But the fact that a human is doing it, there is that room for human error.
Yep. And
if we can improve consistency and cut down on having to pay people, there's more margin to make money. Like I can see that coming. Like I really can.
Communist.
I don't want it, but I can see it coming.
I agree. No, I'm with you. Yep.
I just love that you called him a communist with the giant American flag behind him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You know what? I think next week we should all wear vests.
You're holding back again. This is the problem with you 2 idiots. Now you're gonna call me in 5 minutes when we sign off. You gotta speak up here.
All right. Next week we all wear vests and we all put on the air conditioning. We can be done.
We can be done. I have nothing else. Yeah, unless you guys do. I'm here for it. Whatever you want to do.
Episode 4. We are cutting the nonsense.
There you go. Like, subscribe, comment, share.
Oh, Joe got shanked.
Well, I thought we were leaving there. I got nervous Joe was going to drop it.
No, I would have. 100%. Thanks.
See? Thank you. Thank you.
Teamwork.
Yes. Like, subscribe, comment, and what did Haley say? Give feedback if you like the cuts, if you like the graphics, if you like anything, or if you don't like anything.
Terry Brown joining episode 5.
Terry, we look forward to hearing you specifically.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you. See you on episode 5.